I'll be refuting Xavier's points about about all the medical benefits of medical marijuana. And I want to go back to one claim he said. With regard to the evidence that he used in the it said that correlation doesn't equal causation. There was one piece of evidence that said that. Well, one of the problems with medical marijuana is that there are several problems with medical marijuana. According to the Oaks at Paloma Treatment Center back in 2009, one problem is there's no standard in quality or production. No dosing standard. That means there's no limit to how many doses a patient can take, and so he or she can take just however many doses he or she wants to. And there's also, third one, the potential for harm through chronic use. Number 4, easier access equals increased marijuana abuse. And number 5, legalization changes public opinion of harm potential. And so the main takeaway from the first claim is that the correlation does equal causation because it leads to a lifetime of abuse. And let me see here. There was a study, the National Institute on Drug Abuse did a study in found out in 2015 that 4 million people in the U.S. met the criteria for marijuana use disorder. And it also suggests that 9% of people who use marijuana will most likely become dependent on it. And also, for addiction, the addiction also plays a role in poison. And so according to CDC, or the Centers for Disease Control, when some people eat too much, they can become poisoned and or have serious injuries. And the other claim that Xavier brought up was that he said that one benefit he brought up was that THC can ease pain. Well, after research, I found out, again, the National Institute on Drug Abuse did some research and found the science behind THC, and it said that it is able to attach to molecules in neurons in the brain in certain areas and interfere with their normal functioning. And that's the major chemical that's been causing people to have problems with their brains. That they can't function properly. They have bad reaction timing. It especially affects them while they're driving. And another claim that he brought up was that marijuana avoids addiction. Number 1, it causes addiction because as more people become obsessed about it, especially when they're prescribed to it, they will become more addicted to it and face those consequences. Let's see. And he mentioned some economic benefits as well. However, legalization will continue to increase dependence in marijuana, and also marijuana contributes to a lot of other health problems, and also it's also stated that as marijuana becomes another major problem with medical marijuana is that because of all the addiction that comes through, that more people will continue to be hospitalized, and so there will be at least 4 million admissions into hospitals that treat drug dependence. And so, because of the fact that marijuana causes these addiction problems, it's going to cause more hospitalization, and there will be increased costs for medical marijuana.